Fort Wayne's NBC presents The Irish Outlook.
Notre Dame's last top 25 matchup of the season comes this Saturday night, tomorrow night. The number 8 ranked Irish head to Ann Arbor to take on the number 19 Wolverines. Sports director Chris Ryan is in studio with a special guest to preview tomorrow night's 7:30 matchup. Chris?
All right, thank you. Tonight I am joined once again with Irish Illustrated reporter Tom Loy. How are we doing today, Tom?
Good, man. Good to be here.
I am excited for this one. I grew up about 40 minutes away from Michigan. Never liked them. I'll throw away that bias, but I just want to be truthful with the audience here. Never was a huge fan of Michigan. But I will say this, Jim Harbaugh taking over that program about 5 years ago, never has really hit his stride, I would say. But this team is getting healthier. What does Notre Dame have to be afraid of maybe in this game?
I honestly think it starts with Shea Patterson. You know, the quarterback, he's a terrific talent. One of the better ones in the country. I know he's had some turnover issues like we discussed before, but he's clearly somebody to watch. I mean, he's a guy that at the next level, I think he's going to be even better. I think he's just set up to be a better pro quarterback than college. And at this point, I think he's just trying to get through the season and get as many wins for Michigan as possible. But I think it all starts there. You know, Zach Charbonnet, the running back. I mean, they're loaded across the board. So, and who knows what the conditions are going to be like. I know it's calling for some rain up in Ann Arbor. So with the turnovers with Shea Patterson, the ball gets a little slippery. Right. We'll see what happens. But I think if Patterson plays one of the better games of his career, they could, get the win over Notre Dame.
If we're talking quarterbacks, you go back to last year. Notre Dame has seen Patterson before, but Michigan really hasn't seen so much of Ian Book. How much could that play into the game plan?
I think that's surely a factor. I mean, clearly there's enough tape. You know, Don Brown, defense coordinator at Michigan, is one of the best in the country. He's been doing it for a very long time. He's not a guy that's going to be too concerned. I mean, he goes into every game confident, expects a great performance out of his defense, and those players expect to play at a high level. So there's enough tape on Ian Book, but again, I know we were talking about Patterson playing the game of his season or game of his career, but I think we're going to have to see a really good performance out of Ian Book, and I fully expect him to. We still haven't seen that performance yet this year where everybody's talking about, all right, this is the Ian Book that we called one of the better ones in the country. We still haven't seen that yet. Maybe it's going to happen this weekend in Ann Arbor, and if they do, I see no way Notre Dame loses.
A lot of the critique on Brian Kelly so far in his time with Notre Dame is winning that big game. Well, Michigan's never won that big game, and how important is this for each coach? Just kind of, maybe more so for Harbaugh, because this doesn't really feel like as big of a game for Brian Kelly.
Yeah, it was kind of funny how it went from like Notre Dame was a 4-point underdog to a pick 'em, and Notre Dame maybe being the favorite. Right. So, which I feel like should be the case anyway when I'm looking at both teams. But this is a huge game for Jim Harbaugh. I mean, there are some people, Michigan fans are, on the 247Sports network are calling for his job. They want to see somebody different. Michigan loses again, man, those fans are going to be really hot.
And I'd agree on merit alone, but when you look back at this series in particular, the home team has won the game 8 of the last 9 times. It's at the Big House, a night game. Biggest stadium in the country, it's going to be loud.
I don't think the atmosphere, the environment, the crowd's going to be too crazy. What they saw at Georgia is going to surpass the fact that the numbers are bigger in Ann Arbor. It's not going to be the same atmosphere, electricity. Like I said, I just don't see this hurting Notre Dame too much.
Final score?
I got Notre Dame winning for sure. I'm going to kind of lean 34-24. I think that quarterback Ian Book's going to play really well. I'm very excited to see Braden Lenzy. This one's going to be a fun one for Notre Dame.
All right, thank you very much, Tom. Another edition of Irish Outlook. We will be right back.